big signing of the day, obviously Sean coming back to the team for another season. What was it about him that made you guys want to bring him back, one of the few guys that from last year's team still coming back?
Yeah, well, you look at Sean, the history that he's had here. He's been part of the Comets for the last 6 years, and he's had a lot of consistent success. I mean, I think the big thing right away everyone's going to look at is this is an MVP, 1 season removed, and by his own words, he didn't have the season he wanted, which is scary to watch or see the numbers that he put up. And so if that's not a good season by his standards, and he wants to come back and he wants to be driven and he wants to help lead this team to where we need to get it, I think that's a scary thing for any opponent. Here's a big, powerful right shot guy who can fight, he can score, is a great teammate. He possesses a lot of the same characteristics that we're looking at in our free agency of representing the city, at the same time representing the crest on the front of the sweater as well too. So I think we're lucky to have a guy like Sean come back into the fold here.
What are you expecting out of him as the head coach for a guy that'll be here for his 7th year?
I think just focus on doing what he needs to do. We saw him the other day, and he looked like he's in incredible shape, which is only a good sign for us. He's still in the prime of his career. I think he's got a lot of hockey left to offer us, and I think he still has the potential to get to the next level. Here's a player that him and I have a great working relationship with. I think we've set the standard of what the expectations are going to be like in the fall, and I agree, or we both agree of what's expected of him. So when he comes into camp, we expect him to be a leader as he typically is, and for the young guys to follow his role. So we're looking and hoping for big things from Sean this year.
You made your first 2 signings for guys that weren't on the team last year as well. What did you like about those 2 guys as well?
First, I'll speak about Matt Bowden, and the thing that jumps off right away is that he's a winner. And those guys don't come along very often. This guy's won 2 championships at UNB back-to-back years. He was a teammate of Alex Dubois, the goalie that we had at the end of last year. And a lot of winners possess a lot of the same characteristics that you're looking for. Committed guys, team-first guys, great locker room guys. And mark my words, this guy's going to be a fan favorite. He's a scrappy kid at 5'11". He'll endear himself to Comets fans. There's no question about that. Once he gets his scrappy, aggressive style of play going, I think the fans will learn to love him, and I think he will be a fan favorite this upcoming year. And then we turn our attention towards the back end and Eric Israel. Numbers don't lie when you look at his resume. He's found a way to be consistent throughout his entire career. His sophomore season, he had over 30 points. And I want to say if it wasn't for his sign, I mean, that should have been enough to earn him a big contract at the next level, or maybe the NHL, if you're comparing numbers to other people's resumes. We're very, very lucky to get this guy in an ECHL contract. He can run the power play. He's got some PIMs in his game as well. He's an aggressive guy, although he's undersized by today's standards of NHL defensemen. But I think he'll replace a guy like Ryan Lowney, who just has outstanding numbers. He's an outstanding locker room guy, and he possesses a lot of the same characteristics that we're looking to build this team, which is a team-first type mentality as well.
The 2 of them being the first, 2 to not be on the team last year, how excited are you to kind of build around those 2 and attract other free agents to their style of play as well?
Yeah, no, 100%. We've set the bar with what our expectations are, and we were lucky to get these guys done early. And at this point in the summer, there's a lot of people that we're negotiating with right now that are looking for the best possible fit for them. So we felt we landed 2 home runs with these guys, and it's the same thing. Now that they're on our roster, we can start recruiting other guys to complement them, having them set in our roster. We know what holes we need to fill and what have already been filled. So we're glad to get these under our belt and keep moving along here for the summer.
No, you got some qualifying offers out to some other guys still. Kind of what's the status on them?
Yeah, we're just in negotiations. Everybody has a price. Everybody wants it their way, and we always want to find a way for it to work as a team-friendly deal. I mean, we've spoken with anybody we've offered a qualifying offer to. We know exactly where we stand. I think they know exactly where they stand, and at the end of the day, I hope we can come to terms on something, because both those players are great players.
About a month and a half, almost 2 months into the job now. What's the summer been like for you? And now, especially that things are starting to kick up with free agency?
Yeah, a lot of miles, a lot of phone calls. There isn't a day that goes by that you're not on the phone. I mean, we've been working hand in hand with David and Olivier. We've all been trying to do the same thing and put a team that we feel is going to represent what we think is the new Comet culture. And with that, you've got a lot of homework to do, a lot of background information to dig into, and we've been doing our homework tirelessly every single day, and we're looking forward to the process. It's been a great process. Everyone has been helping out, and it's been a lot of fun here. So we're happy to get a couple on board here and then keep going.
How do you feel about the last month and a half, almost 2 months so far for you?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been extremely busy. I mean, the travel has been out of this world, going back and forth. My wife and child are actually back home with her parents just because they've been in and out of the office and in every other city, it feels like, with this job. And, that's kind of the part of the job that stinks is, we won't see my wife and child for about a month here while we're on the road trying to recruit. And, we've got everything pulling us in 5 million different directions. But that's part of the sacrifice that it takes to put a team together and take control. So we know as a family, first and foremost, what it takes, and we're going through a process, and sometimes it's not easy, but we all hope at the end of the day we reflect back on it and say it was worth it.